The following Best of Central Florida program is sponsored in part by Pearsons Catering, Voyage Private Dining, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Welcome to the Best of Central Florida. I am Justin Clark. I will never forget, the year was 2002. I was in law school in Boston, hanging out at the Beantown pub to be exact. A classmate comes over, introduces himself. He said he was from Orlando. I was shocked. I thought Orlando was theme parks, chain restaurants, maybe a water park or two. Who would have thought that now 20 years... Don't you have Makaila's Choice or something coming up? What are you doing? Makaila will join us as well here in just a moment. 20 years later, I've lived here for 15 of them. Who would have thought I would have raised my two little girls here? Who would have thought I would fall in love with Central Florida? It's a hidden gem, great restaurants, professional sports team, booming art scene, the Makaila River, the beaches, and yes, even the theme parks. From Weirsdale to Wildwood, Auburndale to Astor, this is the best of Central Florida. What a great show we have for you today. I mean, you have weddings, we have parties, we even have private events. And what do you need when you have any sort of fancy private event? You need a caterer. And today we visit the best caterers in Central Florida. Welcome in my dear friend, the beautiful Makaila Nichols. Makaila, how are you today?
Great.
How often do you need a caterer?
All the time. I can't cook, so.
And you know, we don't think about it a lot of times too. When you need a caterer, sometimes you can do it for a private party at your house. And if you really start to add up the cost of catering versus going down to Winn-Dixie and loading up, it's really not that much more expensive.
Yeah, it balances out.
Do you like to have parties?
I love to have parties. Who doesn't?
I love to have parties too, and you also don't have the dishes. And some of these caterers, and the caterers that we're visiting today are absolutely fantastic, many of which we know personally, which is why they got chosen today as the best caterers in Central Florida. Now I'm looking forward to this, and one of our favorite parts, of course, of doing shows about anything dealing with food is we get to eat. Enjoy yourself right now. At least I will, me, because I know I'm about to get plenty
You're
heavy.
gonna need both.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
All right, well, I'm still fired up about this. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, without further ado, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a very quick break, but when we return, we're gonna hit the three best caterers in all of Central Florida.
The following Best of Central Florida Makaila's Choice is sponsored in part by Pearsons Catering and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
It is no secret that I'm a foodie, but I have to be honest, I can't cook. So when I do cook, I turn to the absolute best. Makaila's Choice for Best Caterer is Pearsons Catering, and I am joined by the legend herself, Kim. Happy to have you here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You know, when you first came onto this set, I saw you put up this sign, and I absolutely love it. Empowered women empower women. What does that mean to you?
That means that it's my responsibility to help other women. And women have helped me. They've introduced me to powerful women in the community, which has helped me in turn bring my business to the next level and given me exposure where I hadn't had it before.
Absolutely incredible. Being a woman in business, being an entrepreneur, making food, how did all of this happen?
Well, it's got a story. So I've been wanting to own my own business since I was in high school. And I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do or how I was going to go about doing it. And years down the road, I had graduated from culinary school and was trying to get out of the culinary business years later. And a lady asked me to do a party for her for 130 people.
Casual, 130 people?
Yeah, I said, sure, I'll do it. And actually, sure, I'll do it has been my motto all through my business.
I love it.
I'll figure out how to do it, but I'm going to do it. And I generally figure it out. And it was at the end of October, so it was perfect for fall and the holiday season. And people would say, hey, I bet you're booked for the holidays. I said, sure am. If you need something, you better hurry up and call. And here we are almost 14 years later, and the business has evolved into what it is today. And that's it.
So everything is made with love from scratch, which I love. It's kind of like your slogan, so to speak.
Yes.
And this is all made from scratch, right?
Yes, it is. And I've been making things from scratch long before it was popular. In culinary school, of course, we made everything from scratch. And then my first job out of culinary school was at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, 5-star. So everything there was made from scratch. And I just took that, and I've had that as a basis for my business all along.
And you ran with it.
And I ran with it. Mm-hmm.
So tell us what you brought with you today, because I've been eyeballing this, and I gotta be honest, I've already had a couple, but yeah. So for everyone watching that hasn't tried this yet,
the ones in the back here, hoping.
well, I'm gonna have another one while she tells us about it.
Look,
Let me just cover my mouth here.
So this is our smoked shrimp cocktail, which is a little twist on the traditional shrimp cocktail. I want to do something different and be known for comfortable foods, but with a twist,
right,
and kind of bump it up a notch. So we smoke all our own meats. We have a big smoker, and my husband Dan, he smokes all our meats. We do brisket and turkey breast and ribs and pork and shrimp. And this is one of our items that we have on our cocktail menu. It's very popular. It's a signature dish, so I thought you might enjoy it today.
It's amazing.
You're right, I am enjoying it. And I'm also gonna be enjoying this pretty soon. What did you bring right here?
So these are our sweets, and we're pretty well known in the community for our homemade sweets. And one of the things that I have is truffle brownies. And in the beginning, I pictured a box of chocolates. And you know how they have all the different flavors? Mm-hmm. I thought it would be really cool to have all different flavors of brownies. So I have a Oreo brownie, I have an Almond Joy brownie, and then I have a plain old fudgy brownie with homemade chocolate buttercream and pecans, and then we do other flavors as well. And we have down here is our key lime white chocolate almond cookie.
Yum.
And we have double chocolate, and we have molasses. And my dad, I called him the cookie whisperer.
The cookie whisperer.
The cookie whisperer, because everything he touched was perfect. It would come out perfect.
Funny how that works.
It is. And I'd go and make the same thing with the same recipe, and it would not turn out perfect. So that's how he got that name, and he created some of these cookies with me. And this one over here is new. It's a tahini chocolate cookie, and it has sesame seeds in it and tahini as well. And the toppings on all the cookies, I try to put the toppings on top so you can see what's inside the cookie or the dessert bar.
So how soon do I have to call you? Let's say I'm having an event of like 300 people, or maybe just like 6. When do I have to call you?
Well, if you have 300 people, you might want to give me a few days.
Of course.
Because we make everything from scratch. I don't pull it out of a box. But generally, it depends on what it is. A few days notice is generally what we need. But if it's a big party, we like to have a little bit more time.
Makes sense. And you do brunch, barbecue, pretty much everything. Kim just crushes it with anything in regard to food.
We do. And one of the things that I'm proud of is that I have this amazing team, and we're all very flexible, and in that we have set menus, but people come to us and they are celebrating something and they want a twist to it. We had somebody who just got married recently, and they traveled all over the world together, so for their wedding, they wanted a cultural experience for their guests.
Awesome.
So we did food from India, and we did Spanish food, we did French food, all the way from appetizers to the desserts.
Wow, well that sounds like a great culinary experience. Kim Pearsons, Pearson Catering, thank you so very much for being on the show. I know I'm gonna eat during break, and speaking of break, we will be right back with People's Choice.
The following Best of Central Florida Justin's Choice is sponsored in part by Bon Voyage Private Dining and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Finally, Justin's Choice this week actually made me change clothes. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, someone was excited.
Because when you think catering, you also think private dining as well. And this is a man who's been to my house. When I think private dining, I kind of think fancy, although it's not always fancy. You can do private dining for brunch, private dining for lunch, but certainly a fancy dinner like someone's 24th birthday party. Is that right? Now we're going to show this menu on the screen because this man over here to my right actually created this menu, private dining, for you for your party.
And he made it absolutely amazing. It was the best birthday ever.
That is why Justin's Choice goes to our very good friend, Matthew Davis. He's the owner of Bon Voyage Private Dining. Chef, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good.
Let me tell you how it worked. Let me tell you how it worked with me, okay? So she was having a birthday, and she's my co-host. We wanted to make it special, of course. And what did I do? I just called him up and he said, okay, give me like some of her likes, some of her dislikes. And the next thing I know, in my email, you had a full menu that you had created just for her. How does that work, Chef? I mean, how do you really get to know what someone likes, someone doesn't like, and then prepare that menu for them?
So what I do is, based on the consultation, like the phone call, I'll ask just a range of questions, like when she goes out to a restaurant, like what does she eat, what doesn't she like? Like some people hate mushrooms. Yeah, and
no, I hate mushrooms. I was just raising my hand because I'm not a big mushroom guy. Look, I know you have no respect for me whatsoever. If I don't like mushrooms, I get it all the time.
I love mushrooms.
I know. Oh, you're a chef, of course. All chefs, they think of me differently when I say I like mushrooms.
I'm sure if he made you, mushrooms, you would eat them.
I would eat his mushrooms, but not just like, regular random mushrooms from anywhere. But the menu was fantastic. Here's another thing about private dining that it's not something I have often done, but it's something that we did with you. When you have 6, maybe 7, 8 people there, when you start to compare private dining to actually going out to a nice restaurant, the price is relatively competitive, is it not?
Yeah, it really is, and it's kind of mind-blowing because if you have, say, a group of like 6 to 10, and you're going out to a really nice restaurant, when you think about like gas and other stuff like that, and you're ordering a bunch of courses and drinks, it's pretty. It might be even cheaper to get a private chef.
I think so, and we're going to have a lot of pictures on the screen from what you prepared for Makaila.
Yeah.
You have those pictures, right? We're going to display them on the screen. And the food was immaculate. But think about this too. Private dining means you can go to Total Wine or something and buy your own wine, even nice wines that are going to be so much less expensive if you go buy them at Total Wine as opposed to buying at a restaurant. That saves money for your customers as well, doesn't it?
It really does. Like, say for instance, when I do a 7 or 8 course tasting menu, all the wine pretty much, whatever I pay for it, I just pass on to them. Like, I'm not upcharging them or anything like that. So it saves money on their part when getting wine,
Talk to me about your background a little bit. I know it's Jamaican with some French fusion there. I mean, your food it's very unique. Describe your food and describe your background.
Well, my background is Jamaican. I grew up there. I've been in Florida for almost 5 years, and I went to culinary school in Clearwater as well for 3.5 years or so. And during that time, I was working in different restaurants, mainly French. And I got a lot of experience in that cuisine, so that's what I focus on in my business is French American. And like growing up in Jamaica, I still kind of have the spice and the flair and the flavor of that culture kind of combined with the French American food, so it's like one big trip to Flavor Town.
Your customer service is fantastic. And think about it like this, okay? I called you. It was maybe 2 or 3 days in advance. It wasn't that far in advance.
Yeah.
That's really not far in advance.
For me, it is. For me, that's an eternity. Are you kidding me? I thought I was doing him a big favor. I thought I gave him plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't this Justin's Choice?
Yeah, sorry.
No, please, I want you to ask.
I mean, it was my birthday after all.
Good point. You can't ask
Should have been in advance.
No big deal. But what I noticed is I think we ate dinner at 7 or 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I believe you got there at 2. Part of that experience for someone who has a chef come over for private dining is sort of watching you work. You tell us kind of what you're cooking, and we get some ideas as well. Isn't that part of the experience is they're engaging with the chef as they're preparing this dinner?
Yeah, I would say that they're unpacking and doing all the food prep and mise en place and preparation, all that good stuff is definitely a big part of the whole experience. Like just being in the kitchen with a private chef and kind of getting to pick their brain a little bit and see like how they make this, how they make that, and just seeing the end result. It's really fantastic. I think it's a great experience.
You know, Chef Davis, what I've heard about you from not you, because you wouldn't say that, from other people, they said it's his customer service and his food that really set him apart. We've talked about the food some. What about your customer service? How are you different?
Yeah, well, I try to go above and beyond for my customers. Like, there's always a lot of dietary restrictions, depending on like what time they want their food, likes and dislikes. I try to satisfy the customer to 110% and make sure they're comfortable in their own home and just have a really good time.
You know how sometimes we talk about brides and bridezillas? Do you ever have any customers or clients that are just, it's private dining, it has to be perfect, and do you ever have any that are customer-zillas, so to speak?
Like super specific?
I don't know, just a pain.
Honestly, probably one or two here and there, but they end up not booking because they're just looking for quotes, you know. But my customers that really want to book and want the experience, they're typically easygoing and they're happy with me being creative with the menu, like I was with Makaila's birthday, you know.
Yeah.
You went so above and beyond, and not to interrupt Justin's choice here, everyone, but you literally came and brought me like flowers, a birthday card. Like, he really truly does go above and beyond, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah,
I totally agree. Now let's ask you, because maybe there are people watching at home that are thinking about surprising someone with private dining, like your crew here that WKMG did for you. It was a surprise. Did you have any idea it was coming?
No, I did not. And I mean, we were talking about this earlier. When he showed up, I was like, "Hi!" Hi! Like, I had no idea, and it was a beautiful surprise.
So when someone does want to have a chef like Chef Davis over for a surprise, whether it's a birthday party, graduation party, whatever it is, how does that make you feel when you're the one that's getting surprised?
It's great. I mean, I was so happy I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to go anywhere. That's really huge, especially on your birthday. Like, and you're just literally hanging out with your friends, and you have an extraordinary experience happening right in your own kitchen.
And again, I keep coming back to it though, but I've been telling people about you, and I keep saying, they're like, oh, it's too expensive. And it is not. You're paying just regular retail, like wholesale, I guess, even prices for the wine.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's 2 people, yeah, it's probably a little bit more expensive, but if you have 4, 6, 8 people, I'm telling you, it's cheaper than going to a nice restaurant. It just
really
is at the end of the day.
It really is.
And no dishes, by the way, right?
No dishes, no cleaning. We do the grocery shopping. We do everything for you.
Now, what if I live in a decent condo or a decent house, but it's nothing spectacular? You saw my kitchen. My kitchen's not anything special by any stretch of the imagination. Do I have to live in some multi-million-dollar house to have you over?
Absolutely not. You can live in a 1-bedroom, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, whatever it is. We'll make it work. You know.
Yeah.
We'll bring pots and pans if needed, plateware, dinnerware, whole 9 yards.
Let's say that I called you right now. I want a 4-course dinner for my wife as we speak right now. I'm not going to give you any sort of advice at all. We love everything. Tell me the perfect 4-course dinner right now.
Kind of putting me on the spot.
I know.
Yeah, no pressure. My goodness.
Or you can even give me ideas of certain things that you would put in there.
Ideas.
What's your favorite dish to make? What about that?
I would say, lobster manure.
Ooh, what is that?
It's a French lobster dish. It's just a pan-fried steak with a pan-fried lobster with a garlic, parsley butter sauce. It's really simple and elegant. A little splash of lemon. It's very good. And another popular dish I really like to make is probably steak au pois.
Yeah.
That's a really popular dish.
Yeah.
And my most popular dessert is a chocolate creme brulee.
Oh, yes.
The ones I think you guys have.
I think we did. Yeah. There should be pictures of that here. That's running
So
behind
yummy.
us.
I try to offer other things to them, but they're like, no, we want this. Even if it's like repeat customers, they still ask for the same dessert. I'm like, all right, I'll make it for you guys.
It's
great. Last question for you, okay? You cook for people all the time. When you go home, do you cook for yourself? And a follow-up to that, do you have certain restaurants that you like to go to? Are you a fancy restaurant kind of guy, or do you like to kind of keep it simple?
I like to keep it simple. I'll go to Whole Foods and get myself a nice ribeye steak or fillet and make some mac and cheese and like buttered asparagus.
Really?
Yeah, I sometimes when I go out to fancy restaurants, it's like, it's not really exactly what I want. I'm like, I would change this or that. So I try to cook at home for
Makes
myself, and yeah, I try to
Chef
cook at home for
Matthew
myself.
Davis, Bon Voyage Private Dining. Thanks for what we did for Makaila, and I sure hope to see you soon, buddy.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Excellent
Thank
job
you for
today.
having me.
Here's what we're gonna do. And you better say thank you.
I mean, thank you. I can't thank you enough. You
My
made my
pleasure.
birthday phenomenal.
Here's what we're gonna do. A quick break. We will come back and close out the show, close out your weekend as Best of Central Florida continues. Now, Makaila, you know this has been a special show, and I literally changed clothes during the show for
You
it.
did.
Huh?
You got a little bougie.
I mean, today was special. I mean, our two guests today were special to your heart in multiple different ways, you know? And I'm telling you, no dishes. If someone's preparing the food for you, catering and private dining is a lot of times the way to go. Look, I know you love restaurants sometimes, but
I do.
sometimes having it delivered to you, fancy, no dishes, no heavy lifting, no grocery shopping, right there for you. I love it.
I do too. I mean, I said I'm not a good cook. I try, but we obviously had on the pros, so can't beat it.
What is the next celebration for you where you're going to have a caterer or a private dining chef come over?
You know, not to be like bougie,
Yeah.
but I think there's always an occasion to just kind of treat yourself. You
Like-
know, life's too short, so like get the brunch, get the fancy dinner.
So like after getting
So
your
like
nails
probably
done, you're going to
tomorrow.
celebrate getting nails?
Maybe
or-
tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do this. You know, Monday nights. So
Monday nights?
Monday nights.
Just a regular Monday night.
Yeah. Why
Really?
not? I mean,
I
it's a
guess,
great
you
way
know,
to start
you're
the
right.
week. I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm just eating. And then I'm a happy Makaila. And then the rest of the week, and then you'll thank me.
I love it. Excellent job as always. And as always, special thanks to our amazing WKMG crew on set here. You always do a fantastic job. Most importantly, thank you to you. Thank you for joining us every single weekend. Do me a favor, hit record series right now. Makaila and I will see you again next week for more Best of Central Florida.
The preceding Best of Central Florida program was sponsored in part by Pearsons Catering, Bon Voyage Private Dining, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.